So there's three big challenges probably occupying me at the moment. The short-term and immediate one, I guess, is Brexit and what happens as a result of whatever deal we strike with the EU on that basis has the capacity to have a very disruptive impact on a food retail business for obvious reasons, given we import around 30% of our product from overseas. The second challenge I'd call out is we've got the small matter of a potential transaction with Asda, which is pretty well publicised. And whilst we can't do too much to plan for that at this stage, and we are dependent obviously on that passing through the CMA process, which is well known, trying to get ourselves set for that at the point at which that becomes a reality or not. And I think the third one would just be the changing nature of the retail landscape to which you refer to, and I think again that's pretty well publicised. You know, rising cost base, whether that's pressures from the national living wage, whether that's business rates, and then equally the changing way in which customers are shopping in the channel, whether it's coming out of supermarkets into online, into convenience, and into discounters. The UK retail landscape for everyone is changing rapidly, and we're all having to adapt very, very quickly. We ran a sort of a mini CFO program within Sainsbury's, which Deloitte supported us on, and fielded our own senior people, so our own CEO Mike, our own CFO Kevin, chairman, etc. I think it did a number of things. I think it's really good because it was still supported by some of the similar material, giving really good real life development. I think you can get quite cosseted inside a large corporate, and it's not unique to Sainsbury's. It's in every large corporate I've worked in around the type of coaching and advice and support. So I think it gives a challenging real life perspective on what it takes or not to make a CFO. I think being able to assemble our own internal top team was a really great networking opportunity for our people. I think just bonded them as a group actually, and bonded them as a team, which was absolutely the intent at the outset. I think be willing to take a chance on someone. I think I've benefited from that in my career. I've never ever been the finished article when being ready to go to the next level, but I've been very lucky that I've been backed and supported by some really good people who have filled in the gaps and taken the leap of faith. So I think if you're if you're managing or sponsoring someone, or you're feeling as though you're in that situation, have the courage to put yourself forward and back yourself that you can fill in those gaps. You don't need to be 100% ready. No one should be. 80% is good enough. If not, you haven't got a development curve, and it's probably not going to be particularly stimulating going into the next role. I think it's hugely important now, more than any time in my career, to really invest and give back to some of the young talent coming through the finance profession for a number of reasons. The landscape in which people are coming into the workplace is hugely uncertain, whether that's political, economic, certainly in retail changing, that's changing incredibly quickly. But the profession's changing rapidly as well, and I think, whether that's through technology, whether that's through things like robotics, whether that's, in the last sort of 10 years prior to that, offshoring and outsourcing, the kind of pressures on the finance function or typical finance function in a large company are really, tough. And I think it's important to help people navigate through that and kind of work out how they adapt themselves to that changing environment and set themselves up to be a finance leader in the future.